So, what's up, everybody, and welcome to a WNBA State of Mind where we mainly discuss basketball, but we love other sports. And as usual, I got my guy, Don Dada Wilfred, on the show. We out here over 100 episodes since 2020, Dom. We rolling, we rolling. They ain't woke yet, but that's okay. Bang, we got 100 episodes. Don, the topics are BANANAS, bananas. First, we got the WNBA, the season, okay? Nail biter all season long, and then some. As far as excitement is concerned, they gave us the business all the way to the end, all the way to the last game. Secondly, Cece, Angel, and Rickea had major impacts on their teams as rookies. Indiana, Chicago, and LA felt their presence on and off the court as well, and I'm proud of them. There have been 7 coach dismissals, okay? Atlanta, Connecticut, Chicago, Dallas, Indiana today, Christie Side, bang, bang. LA, Washington, including a few GMs, my people's over there, Natalie Williams, but I'm sure she's going to resurface somewhere else. And it could be Golden State, which would be a no-brainer, all right? Her kids get ready to go to college. Where's you at UCLA? So it's a no-brainer. I hope she shows up someplace else. And last but not least, the WNBA has opted out of the current CBA with revenue sharing, such as ticket sales. They've blown the benchmarks away. So revenue sharing's got to come into play. All right? Got to talk about pensions. Have to, because we are at retirement age now. Mm-hmm. When I was playing and we were screaming about the pensions, it didn't make sense because none of us was, it was like 20 years later. It's 20 years later. We have to have that discussion. We have to have long-term health insurance has to be a discussion. The former NBA players are privy to it. They need to make it available to us too. Mm-hmm. 2 players that succumbed to cancer, and I'm sure that health insurance was an issue. And then also on the table, former player monetization is also on the table. So let's talk about it, Dom. Let's go all the way back. Go back to the nail biter. Talk about your experience and how you felt this season with the WNBA.
Overall, and I'm going to speak from a fan's perspective on this point of view, it was an absolutely awesome season from beginning to end. Totally awesome. If you're a basketball junkie, you absolutely loved everything that the W brought to you this season. From a business standpoint, though, there's still work to be done. Talk to me, Goody.
Yeah, of course, there's definitely a lot of work to be done, but I'm glad that they got to traveling together and, so that they could have a great season like that. Imagine if the traveling was messed up this season as much as they had to play in the playoffs. So I'm glad that was something that they took care of, and it's something that's under the bridge. But real talk about the excitement, talk about the fans, talk about like they were just going bananas. And, kudos to the light shining in the darkness, because there was a lot of darkness, as we know, new fans. Yeah. They're new to the league. They have no idea what they're talking about. They act like the new players or the players that created the league, and it wasn't that. So there was a lot of disrespect going on. Yeah. Former players were feeling, disrespected. Even current players were feeling a little disrespected. But all I have to say is, listen, I am not going to bite the hand that feeds. All right. And listen, I will take 1% of the $85.2 million contract and shut my mouth. See, people have to understand our time has come and gone. We've made our waves. I think that the former players were disgruntled because the WNBA sheds no light on us. They don't shed light on the Utah Stars. They don't shed light on the Houston Comets. And if they do, they only have 3 players that they show. They shine light on New York, and then they only show a couple of players from there. Show Tari Phillips. Like all of these teams that are out there, they don't do a good job of ushering in their former players. And I'm just talking about fly us in and then have us there for a weekend. I'm talking about literally showing this footage. Show the footage.
Yeah, there's footage available.
Show the 2002 Utah Stars, who was the team that knocked off Houston, dethroned them. They were gone after that. They didn't come back from that. They didn't recover from that. That made way for LA to start winning championships. That made way for Minnesota to start winning championships. Mm-hmm. And then all of the teams thereafter. So if they do a better job at showing the history of the league, the former players wouldn't have been so disgruntled. I think that was, in my opinion, among some other things. All right. Now, talk about Cece. Talk about Angel, Rickea. I mean, those rookies were blazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. They each brought a different impact to their team. Cece, I mean, hey, she proved that Indiana's going to be a force in the league for a very long time. Not only that, she silenced all of the doubters that said, hey, when she comes into the league, she's going to be too slow. She's not going to be able to play defense. She can't pass the ball. All she does is shoot. She proved all those doubters wrong. Absolutely just obliterated any negativity and showed why she was the rookie of the year. And second year, I'm calling it, she's going to be MVP. Because she's going to come back stronger. She's going to come back faster. She's got that Kobe mentality. She really does think the game. Fantastic IQ. Angel, hey, she showed up and proved not only can the sky build around her for the future, but she had the most double-doubles by a rookie in a season in the 20-year history with 26. First player ever in WNBA history with 3 consecutive 20-plus rebound games. What does that tell you? You got a cornerstone for your franchise. Rebounding in defense, what? They win championships, right? I mean, pretty simple. So Chicago can build something there if, and only if, they get the right front office personnel. I know we're going to talk about the coaching changes and things like that. They got a lot of things going on. They got to right the ship for her. She's shown up for them, so now they got to right the ship for her. Hey, Rickea Jackson, RJ, the Enigma. I told y'all who she was and what she was while in high school. Her game has improved every year. She's grown. She's added a different piece to her arsenal every single year. The Sparks got the steal of the draft last year, period. She would have been in the running for Rookie of the Year had they given her the ball on offense a little bit more and kind of ran things through her. But, I mean, those 3 players were absolutely exciting. You think about what's coming in this draft class and the draft class after that, like, I'm imploring the W and the NBA, which owns 70% of the WNBA, to do a better job doing the draft. Like, don't have them in a hotel ballroom. Let's put them in the Barclays. Let's give them the same treatment that the men got. Let's make it an all-out, huge event. Let's market that thing for 3 months straight. You need any help, call me and Goody.
Please, they don't even know. They have no idea. But yeah, I mean, those kids had fantastic seasons. I was really impressed with Rickea. It's unfortunate that she was on a team that had significant injury. I think that if Cameron Brink was not hurt, I think they would have made a little more noise. Even if they didn't make it into the playoffs, I think they could have really made some noise and really shed light on the type of team that they could possibly be in the future. So I'm looking forward to watching them as well. And we talk about the coaching changes now. I agree with them. And the reason why I do is because I think that a lot of the coaches that were out there were coach heavy, like they were head coach heavy. Mm-hmm. If I'm a head coach, I'm putting everyone around me that's smarter than me, bigger, better, faster. I'm not the type of leader that gets upset if one of my disciples gets paid more than me, gets more recognition than me, goes further than me. That's why I'm here. I'm here to be your leader, and you're my follower, and then I'm going to teach you, and then I want you to fly. I'm still going to get my flowers from that person. They're going to shout me out at some point in time. I'll get my recognition. Oh, she was under Adrian's tutelage. So that's the reason why. And so, we have to have more leaders like that, where if you're not an ex coach, then you need to have somebody that's next to you that could really put it down as far as the D is concerned. If you're not offense and you're not really good with ATOs, then you need to have that person next to you that's an expert. Okay. All the way to the video coordinator, because the video coordinators usually become the GMs because they put the team together. They see everything. Right. So
thank you for shouting out the video coordinators.
And because I do all of those things, man, and I know and I understand you're a bridge to the coach. You're the reason why the scout is successful or unsuccessful. Any team that's not using the video content, and they're not video content heavy, then those are the teams that are not going to go far. When I played in San Antonio, Candy Harvey and I were in the gym I was there like 6:30 in the morning. I'd be there before she got there, just watching film on all of the players that I was going to play. I watched the tough stuff about myself. When I couldn't throw the ball in the ocean, like it's easy to watch a game where I went 20-12. Those games are easy to watch. The games that I scored, I only had 2 points, maybe one time in my career. I had to watch that game over and over again. But it's a learning process, and you have to do the work as a player. And the only way to do the work is to sit down with the video coordinator and a coach that's willing to sit with you, Bobby Morris, who was over there with me at Utah, and we sat there and we watched video. So I'm a video drone. I believe in it 100 wholeheartedly, but the 7 coaching dismissals is a lot for a 12-team league. You talking about cleaning house. Okay, because you have to have coaches, assistant coaches, and all the way across the board, all the way to the team manager, to the person who you put down on the end of the bench to keep the animosity at bay. Have to be strong individuals. I'm talking about there's a pecking order to the bench with me. Okay, you're not gonna be down on the end of the bench running your mouth and busting your gums and doing all of that madness, and I can't hear you. And then now we got dissension. And I didn't see that with a lot of coaches where, they had people around them that were smarter. I saw a lot of head coaches standing in the coach's box, and there's no communication with the assistant coach. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of it, of course, with Minnesota and Cheryl. That's why they had a fantastic season. Okay. And even though they fell short, they had a fantastic season. And I really, I rooted for them all the way to the end because I really thought that they were going to win. And if they were playing in a neutral site, they probably would have. And if they had 3 different referees, they probably would have. I don't believe in referees dictating games like that. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it. WNBA is going to have to clean that up, And I love winning championships, but I don't know. I might have missed the parade on that at the ring, but I want to win where ain't nobody over here trying to dictate whether I win or lose. You know what I mean? We'll get back to the coaching staff. Atlanta.
The league on the business side of things still needs work to increase, like as you just spoke about, staff, budget, more coaches. Scouting is needed along with more front office staff. Better marketing is still needed, especially with all the talent that's coming in the league in the near future. Like ownership has got to put in a little bit more money. In any business, you got to spend money to make money.
Absolutely. And now is the time. Because people are pouring money into the league, pouring money into the league and pouring money into the players. And thank God for, a Reese's Pieces that will come in and pay Angel because, what she was going to make in the league was certainly not going to be enough. I know it wasn't. And so, Atlanta, that issue, that had to be changed. Unfortunate, because I really do. I got love for my sister, but I think that it was just too much. And I don't think that she had the coaching staff around her that could help her get out of that situation. And that's why it's so super major important to have those people around you. I mean, when I won a national championship with Old Dominion University, Marianne Stanley was there. And I promise you, Wendy Larry was the defensive goddess. We won the national championship with a defense called jump.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Coach Stacks. She there. She did a lot of recruiting, but she was that person who kept us together. We ate dinner at her house. We talked about stuff all the way to, maybe my dog is sick. It doesn't matter. Mental health is important. Those aspects. We got a lot of players that have mental challenges. Are we really, really addressing that? And all of this is, helps a coach be successful. I shouldn't have to sit around and worry about my players' mental health. That's what we got somebody there for. I'm going to sit and talk to you and foster and develop whatever way you decide that you want to go with that and the people that help you. But as a coach, I shouldn't have to worry about that.
Goody,
Okay?
think about this. There are on college coaching staffs, most staffs now, major Division I women's programs, you got over 12 coaches, and they're all filling different roles and positions. Now, here you have a professional franchise. You got a coach, you got an assistant coach, and you got one scout. No video coordinator. How does that work?
There's coaches that are just doing too much, and then you can't, you're so divided that you don't have strength in anything because your skills get watered down because you can't focus as much as being a coach because you got to go over here and do the video. Now, video is a lot.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody to do that.
That's hours of work.
Have somebody to go out and scout. I can't understand why, if I'm a coach, I can't have people scouting for me, or I outsource people to scout for me. If they don't have to be on the staff, but we outsource them. Yeah. And who's that pool of people that you could tap into? And so with Connecticut, I was very surprised. With that because Stephanie was, I don't know, only God knows with that one. I just kind of because I really have no knowledge, no understanding of what happened there. Dallas was probably a no-brainer. It was definitely a no-brainer.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Because they had, unfortunately, because I had a lot of expectations. And I don't blame Trammell not having a job on Trammell. I blame it on the players. I blame it on the players for not leaving it on the floor.
Yeah.
I blame it on the players for not investing in the scout. I blame it on the players for not doing what Indiana did. And those players sat down and talked and decided that they were gonna become better. And regardless as to what the coach is doing, we got to go out there and play.
You still got to perform.
And so they collectively decided, hey, listen, we're going to get together. We're going to get up at 8:00. Everybody's going to come in. We're going to shoot. We're going to scrimmage. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to watch film. So when we come back second half of the season, we're a problem. Indiana did a great job in that. Now, Chrissy got let go today.
Yeah.
You know how I was from the very beginning. I just felt like she was drowning.
Yeah, it was too much.
And I could tell in the beginning of the season with her rotations. I was like, listen, you don't got no time for that. You don't got no time for those two rookies that you were trying to play.
Yeah.
Right? She needed to be playing the right players so that they could advance further in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared. And it was that first 6 weeks of the season, she was just really messing around, and it was a domino effect, and you could see the players were disgruntled a little bit, and so she had to make some changes. But I think they were the ones who made the changes more so than she did. They invested more in running the plays because they were running the crap out of the plays that she had put out there for them, like she really was. And a lot of the players rose to the top. Kelsey, I hope she stays.
Yeah. I agree.
I hope she stays in
I
Indiana.
agree.
I think that her and CC have a nice chemistry. You know, you already know I'm big on Lexi Hull.
Mhm.
Um, they just have a really nice chemistry over there. And I
Yeah.
think they have a couple of more intricate pieces and they'll be okay. LA. I know you were more invested. You were more vested in LA than I was because you love Rickea. But I really felt like the coaching staff had to go there too. Now with him, Kurt, he gets shuffled around, and
Yeah.
I
He'll
really
find
hope
another role.
I just hope that they just really just bring in some people that could get it done, man, and stop with all of this shuffling people around the pot. Bring in some new blood. There's quite a few of us out here that could coach.
Yeah.
Quite a few of us out here that could be a general manager.
Hmm.
Frankly, for me, that's my thing. Put the team together, head coach, because then you're controlling the narrative. You
Yeah.
really are. And as a head coach in the WNBA, if a player is disgruntled with you, the fans are disgruntled with you, like you can be annihilated within a 3-month period of time, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to like go in any league or into any, and probably no one would want to go into any league where you're going to be the head coach without signing a guaranteed 3-year contract, 2-year contract. You got to give me an opportunity to warm this thing up, yo.
Yeah.
I got to get to know the whole organization, this, that, and the third. But if you're
Mhm.
clashing like they were in Chicago, somebody's got to go, and more than likely, it's going to be the head coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you got
I will say this, some of these general managers, they better be real careful and you better have a plan as you're making that firing. Because if it doesn't work out for you with this next coach, you may find yourself without a job.
Yeah,
Tread
absolutely.
lightly.
Absolutely. You got to be smart. Be smart in your hire. And, you can't just worry about the person's name. And then it's the head coach's fault because you got a crew. And I want to help out other former players. But if they don't have that kind of experience and they're not the X's and O, then they might have to become the video coordinator. But
Yep.
see, there's no position like that.
Yeah.
So I can't even offer that to you. I got to do it myself
Yeah.
and fix my computer.
Yeah.
So with that said, and then Washington, I was blowing my top. I
Yeah.
was blowing my top all season long with that because that change was long overdue. And
Yeah.
kudos to Tebow for him go, all right, yeah, let me do this. And I know he struggled with it. But the right thing to do was to leave that organization because there was no more fire. The players,
Mhm.
they were playing in the end because they wanted to make it to the playoffs, but
You knew something was off.
it was off, way off. And as a coach, once you lose your players and they don't buy into your philosophy, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in Washington, and then, a few GMs had to go too, but then you saw some shuffling around from Dallas to Indiana with the general manager thingy. And,
Mhm.
I really do think that Natalie is going to show up someplace else.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because she did a terrific job with the Aces putting that team together.
And I mean, and also I gotta say respectfully, the Aces were put together. The Aces were already put together. They didn't really need a whole lot. They just need some intricate parts. Because Bill left Becky a gold mine.
Yeah.
How many coaches come in and they have a gold mine?
Not too many.
Okay.
Not in this
And so
business.
then Natalie, she comes along and she doesn't have that much to do, but just add some intricate parts. So I'm sure they'll be back next year. But I honestly and truly hope that that they that they that they bring in coaches that are X and O people. They extend, add 2 more coaching positions, so that these teams could really be successful. It's hard to be successful
Yeah.
the way that it is now. And then last but not least, the WNBA, the league, has opted out of the current CBA. Okay, so November 1st, they can start deliberating. But they've opted out of the current CBA with revenue sharing, such as ticket sales, pensions, long-term health care, and former player monetization on the table. And the thing that I keep screaming about is this. Drop page, WNBA.com. All of the former players, you know, there's a link that you could click to go and custom design their jersey. Is everybody's jersey going to get sold? No. But at least people have options. I have more people coming to me, oh, man, I'd love to get your jersey. Well, I'd love to get it too. I'd love for one of these players to rock my jersey one day, you know? One of the aces, throw Goody's jersey on.
Yeah.
But how can they? It's not available.
Yeah, look at the company Mitchell and Ness. Everything was built off retro, right?
Yep.
The W can do the exact same thing.
Yep. Fanatics. All of those companies that are, you know, sponsors that are making customized stuff, we should have privy to, you know, so that we can still monetize. All right. We have a whole group license out there for us that we haven't exercised, we haven't tapped into. So when I talk to the WNBPA, they say that it's the NBRPA. And then when I had the conversations with them, what do they say? You get bounced back, and back. So with this being said, I think it is imperative that Terry Jackson recruit and form an advisory committee with us and not exclude me this time, as you usually do. Because there's so many things that I just sit and I flip through the CBA that we created. That's the foundation. I'm one of the founding players. Like, we founded that. Okay, there was a collective bargaining agreement before that, but you can even ask Pamela Wheeler, who they need to bring back to help, okay, so that we could get this done. Because if there's not somebody at the table who's going to be there that says, hey, listen, we need to have this done. We can't keep conceding to the challenges that are before us in these topics. We got to get it done. Like I said, long-term health care. We've had several WNBA players succumb to breast cancer. Simone didn't have the proper health insurance. So we can help build the league, but y'all can't take care of us afterwards. We're the foundation. We're the brick and mortar in which you are running on. CC, Angel, Rickea, okay, all of these kids, Juju coming in, they are standing on our backs. Need to take care of us. We shouldn't have to stand outside the gate protesting. Okay, that is Terry Jackson's job. Without Pamela Wheeler, you don't sit on that throne. You don't get to be the top 50 most successful woman in business on Ebony Magazine without Pamela Wheeler. So let's keep it 100 with each other. We need to do our due diligence this year. 2025 needs to cover everything and take care of all of us. Nobody should be outside the gate getting sick. We shouldn't have to worry about stuff. Put a pension plan in place. That'd be easy to do. You understand? Mm-hmm. Somebody's telling me it's impossible. No, it's not impossible. It's easy to do. Not everybody was a vet. Not everybody made it to the third year. Yeah. All of these things and these benefits that I'm asking for former players, you have had to have played in the league for 3 years. You had to be a vet in order to get it. And that's normal in any sports.
Any league.
In any league. So at this point in time, that's where we need to be. And you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. I got my guy Dondada on here. We just chopping it up, talking about the nail-biting season. We're talking about the rookies and how well they did, and the 7 coaches that got dismissed, which is bananas. And you can see the evolution of the game, and some people are not going to be able to come along with it.
Yep. The evolution will be televised. Y'all better get ready.
I know that's right. So wrap it up, Don. You got anything that's going on that you're doing that you want to shout out and let people know?
You know what? I got a company that's coming. It's called Lead Launch. For those that would love to work within the sports industry, for those that are currently in the industry, you kind of need a mentor, you need some guidance, you're kind of stuck in your career. Lead Launch is going to be there to help. It's going to be one of the biggest initiatives ever in sports. That's coming soon. I'll have more information for you guys in the coming weeks.
That's right. I appreciate you coming on the show, Don Dada. And don't forget to download, listen to, share, like, comment,
Subscribe.
and subscribe. Go over to Spotify. We need 19 more people. 19 more people. So that I could have 100 followers over there on Spotify. It will make a difference. So if you want to support or not, I appreciate you anyway. Sammy Sosa, peace out.